it's War Thunder, and this is the United States Ground Forces tech tree. Today, I'm going to be discussing whether or not the United States is a good nation to play in War Thunder. But let's discuss this on the bike.
Hey everybody, welcome to my new YouTube channel. I'm Dr. No Way, and I'm fusing motovlogging with gaming. I am your preeminent motovlogger gamer. I am a Twitch streamer, War Thunder content creator and partner, and I was a gunner on an M1A1 Abrams in the United States Marine Corps. I've also got a PhD. So what are the pros? Some of the pros, strengths associated with U.S. Ground Forces ranks 1 through 3. U.S. Ground Forces have a very, very lush tech tree, like Shermans all the way up to the Abrams. So if you're into those vehicles, that's probably a reason why you might want to grind it. Another reason, good all-around nation to play. They've got decent firepower, decent mobility, decent armor. And a third reason, sort of a corollary of this, is that they're very versatile. And they've got a lot of variety of different tanks, tank destroyers, self-propelled AA that you can use in all sorts of different roles in order to be effective and win battles. And finally, one thing to probably note, it's a tech issue, is that the United States gets you access to early stabilizers, like vertical stabilization for your main gun. But you start to see vertical stabilizers pretty early, around rank 2. Some of the Shermans have it. So I believe most of the Shermans have it, maybe all of them. So that's definitely kind of a positive, because if you've got stabilization on your main gun, it allows you to be a little bit more accurate. And to be honest, a lot of engagements are won by the person who is most accurate and shoots first. But there are some cons or some weaknesses associated with U.S. Ground Forces at ranks 1 through 3. I think the biggest one kind of follows from what we said earlier is, you know, it's an all-rounder nation. They're decent at lots of things, but they're not really masters at any one thing. You know, they don't excel above all other nations at, say, like firepower or armor. So you got to keep that in mind, that you will be going up against tanks and targets that might have better guns, better firepower, might have better armor. They'll be harder to penetrate. So keep that in mind. Another weakness is that you don't get heavy tanks until I believe it's rank 3. In rank 1, you're going to have maybe, I think it's 1 medium tank, and it's a lot of light tanks, a couple tank destroyers, and self-propelled AA. In rank 2, you start to see a lot more mediums, and then in rank 3, you start to get access to heavy. So not having access to heavy tanks is going to affect your play style. You're not going to be able to get in like close and be super aggressive at assaulting objectives. Probably you might need to play a little bit safer, more supportive roles, maybe ambush and flank and spot a little bit more. So keep that in mind. So let's now get into some of the individual ranks and some of the notable vehicles that you might want to play with. Let's go with rank 1. Rank 1 vehicles, you're going to have the M22 Locust. This demon is a menace. Pick it up. It's quick, low profile. It's got a decent 37mm gun, and I believe it's got like a 3.7 second reload. Check it out. It's a menace. I've seen this thing operate in higher tiers and take higher tier vehicles out. You'll love it. Along with that, you've got plenty of other options for tank destroyers and self-propelled AA that you can use for supporting vehicles. Given that rank 1 vehicles, you don't have any heavies, you've got the M22, I believe you also have the M2, which is a medium. You might want to use flanking strategies, ambush strategies. Welcome to Los Angeles. We're going to start talking about some of the strengths and weaknesses of rank 2 and some decent vehicles you should check out and try. Just a couple. We'll go briefly through them. But at rank 2, you're going to start to get a lot more medium tanks. See, rank 1 was sort of like the run and gun rank. Rank 2 is more about mediums. And you're going to start getting a lot more mediums, and you're also going to get the introduction of the Sherman, right? So check out the Sherman tanks. They got decent armor if you angle them well. You can start to, you might be able to bounce a few things, but I would stay clear from getting hit. Uh-oh. With this person, we don't want to hit them. The Shermans will typically start off with a 75mm gun, I believe, at a rank 2. They're going to have weak armor on the side, so be careful about that. But they will have 50 cal machine guns, which is great. You can also use the M24 for scouting, it's a light vehicle. M16 for self-propelled AA, and they've got some good options like the M10 for tank destroyer, which is highly mobile, very powerful gun. I believe it has a 76mm gun. It'll definitely put out a lot of damage, so check that out. Now we can also say a few words about rank 3 vehicles. Rank 3 vehicles finally give you some heavy tanks, which are great. Heavy tanks have a little bit more armor, and they give you some more options with your gameplay. With heavy tanks, you can do some brawling. Get up close and personal with the enemy, assault objectives. They're great. You've got jumbos, and when you angle them, they can take up some pretty damage. They do have 75mm gun, be wary of that. And they do have a 50 cal that you can utilize, which is fantastic for engaging with soft targets and then also taking out aircraft. Now, the Shermans, the medium tanks that you have at Tank 3 are also great. They don't have the best armor, but they do have the 76mm gun, which is great. You also have access to the M18, a fantastic mobile tank destroyer. It's got great mobility. You can use it to chew up dirt and get all over the map. You can use it to scout, flank, and ambush. Its powerful gun can take out lots of different enemies, especially when you're aiming at the sides. To sum everything up, the US is probably a great nation to start with. They're all around pretty good when it comes to firepower, mobility, and armor. And they've got a lot of variety. You've got some incredibly iconic tanks like Shermans to play with in the lower ranks. You've also got access to the M22, which is an absolute demon. It'll fit a lot of different play styles, but just note that you will come up against enemies that might excel in armor compared to you. They might excel in firepower compared to you. So know your enemy. Know how to use your own vehicles and adjust your play style accordingly. I hope that helped. Make sure you subscribe and follow. I'm going to be doing an entire series on this. We're going to be the only Motovlogging gaming channel on YouTube covering War Thunder for the moment, but maybe we'll branch out and do other games, man. But I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.